What's up, guys? Can you learn reading fiction, or is it a waste of time? I am Reading Funk, and I run a booktube channel here, everything literary based. So please consider liking and subscribing and hitting that bell. Let's talk about this subject. I've once again been told that reading fiction is a waste of time because you can't get knowledge reading fiction. Basically, you can't learn anything by reading novels, and I couldn't possibly be more strongly opposed to that position. Reading fiction is one of the best cognitive exercises that you can do for yourself. When you put yourself in a character's shoes, you learn from their experiences, and there are basically an unlimited amount of landscapes and situations that you can get into while reading fiction, and your brain is rigorously working while you're doing so. An author gives you material to work with, but you have to think ahead and try to figure out what's going to happen next. Try to figure out the motives of the characters. And that is a really great cognitive exercise. When you're reading fiction, you have a lot to remember, which helps with memory. Characters, conversations, nuances in the plot. And that is an absolutely powerful brain workout. And I want to mention here, my friends, historical fiction is a kind of read that is all about learning. People that write historical fiction go to great lengths, painstaking lengths even, to investigate the landscapes and the culture involved in their books. For example, James Michener wrote a bunch of novels about Texas and Alaska and Hawaii and other places, and the whole point is to show the history of that place involved from prehistoric times all the way into the present. So it's absolutely false that you cannot learn history by reading fiction. When you are thinking ahead while you are reading, it is a great problem-solving exercise. And I want to ask you, my friends, drop me a line into the comments concerning any book, any piece of fiction that you have read that you learned something from, and I will check it out. Our brains respond in very much the same way when we read a fictional account of something as to when we actually experience that thing. Neuroscience has shown a plethora of neurological benefits when a person is reading, including, my friends, connectivity within the brain. Connections are made inside your brain when you read fiction that may persist up to several days and even longer after you finish reading, which means that reading fiction is actually making your brain more complex, which means that you can actually not only obtain knowledge reading fiction, but you can literally become smarter. Some of the absolute most important educational mediums are novels. For example, Crime and Punishment is a philosophical novel by Fyodor Dostoevsky that has been hailed as one of the best of all time by many people. And you actually learn philosophy while you are reading that kind of book. And I love reading Stephen King because he addresses many different psychological and sociological issues in his books, and I learn from them. I love the learning process from reading an author who, in a novel, addresses some of the deepest issues about life and humanity and the human condition. Here's a kicker for you, my friends. There is a lot of brain research that shows that a person who reads fiction can become more empathetic, more emotionally intelligent. And that says a lot about the hold a fictional piece can have on the human brain. It actually helps the brain to restructure and become more sophisticated. Now, I'm not trying to knock nonfiction, my friends. Reading nonfiction is a fantastic exercise when it comes to learning. I just started a new channel concerning nonfiction. I'll put a card up top. Check that out. I want to ask you, my friends, what do you think about reading fiction as a medium for learning? What have you learned by reading fiction? I want to ask you to subscribe to this channel if you're into the whole booktuberverse. Don't forget to hit that bell. And you can follow me on social media. I will drop the links for that stuff down in the description. Thank you all for stopping by my channel here. I hope I cleared it up, my friends, that you absolutely can learn through reading fiction, and it is one of the absolute best mediums for doing so. I will see you next time, my reading friends.